Okay, so what are we doing right now? Eating. And how are we feeling about this day? What have we done so far today?
We rehearsed for, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. We went through all the dances. It was like, we didn't have adequate time for anything.
Right.
That's okay. We'll be okay.
Okay, so we're feeling what?
Stressed.
Tired. Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
And how many hours left do we have today?
Like 2 or 3. We have
Do we even know how long we need to be here?
2.5 hours more. And we've been here since 11. So basically our whole Sunday is spent.
As dancers, we work extremely hard, day in and day out, to perfect our craft. We build a family dynamic that's unlike anything else I've ever experienced. The audience sees a well put together professional show, but what they don't see is what happens behind the scenes.
So my school starts at 7:20, so it's a really early morning. I have to get up around like 5:30. And my first 2 classes, it's actually a double period dance class, so it's a modern class. We usually start with a warm-up, and then either we'll have a technique class or we'll start with like, right now we're working on our spring concert, and then sometimes we'll have rehearsal after school for about an hour. So then I have the rest of my classes. They're academic classes. I go home for about like, an hour and a half before I have to go to Gary Ballet for dance. And then I'll have anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours of dance, which is, ballet or ballet and jazz or ballet and point.
But it's so much more than just training in class. Dancers are always preparing for their next performance. For us, this happens on the weekends.
I'm normally at the studio around 9 o'clock. I teach for 45 minutes, and then we'll have class around 11:30. And that tends to be a pretty long class. It's hard to get through it, but then we have rehearsals for at least 4 to 5 hours, probably, maybe more, and then go home and just sleep.
Sundays are the same way. Jazz rehearsals run from noon until early evening when dancers go home and rest before class the next day. So why do we do it? There's only one explanation. We love to dance.
I would say I love to dance. It depends on the day. Some days are better than others. Everyone has their good and bad days. I do love to dance, and it's definitely a very important part of my life. I've been dancing since I was like 2, so it's just like, what is life without dance?
So being a dancer is more than just coming into the studio for an hour or 45 minutes and frolicking around in a tutu. It's hard work, it's sweat, it's pain, it's tears, it's a lot of sad times, but the good times and the performing part of it and being on stage and being with your friends and growing a family, that's part of the passion.
But what are the consequences? What does it take?
I love dance, and I think it does so much good for you, but also I think it causes a lot of stress and pain and mental strain that not everyone is built for.
So it's a little difficult because, your body can only look the way your body looks. You can work hard to make it different. You can work hard to make it more muscular. You can diet as much as you want to, but sometimes your body is just your body. Dance is so much more than just going in and being there in class. You actually have to, work for it. And it is a lot of pressure, and it's a lot of physical and emotional strain, and not everyone is ready to deal with that. And so I think that it does take a special type of person because you have to be ready to sacrifice. You stand in front of the mirror for hours on end, and you pick out every single thing about your body that you don't like, and your teacher will pick out everything on your body that you don't like. And so it's really hard to have a healthy body image when you take ballet class, especially if you take it very seriously.
The long hours, the blisters, the blood, sweat, and tears. It's truly exhausting. So why do we do it? We ask ourselves every day.
Do I really want to do this? Do I want to put myself through this? Like, is this the best thing for me? Is there something else I could be doing that would make me happier, that wouldn't make me, like, question everything I do, question, like, my body, question my talents, question my abilities. But I think in the end, it's, you know, it's part of you. Once you start dancing, it's kind of like, it's hard to quit.
Yes, we were retired a long time ago.
Yes.
We've been here since 8:45 and we'll be here until about 10.
The rehearsal process is long and hard. The classes even harder. But something makes it all worth it.
And the feeling you get when you're on stage and the feeling you get when you're performing and you have that costume and you have your hair up and you have your makeup on and you feel something, it transports you when you're on stage. And the fact that we're transporting the audience too, you know, that connection that we have as this moving piece of art on stage and what it does for the audience is kind of, it's just a feeling you can't get anywhere else.
I don't even know what my life would look like without dance. The struggles you go through in dance are just like so much different, and you go through it together, you know, and it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't have the family that I do now.
Aww.